What is up, everybody? This is your man D2X, and I'm excited to give you my performance breakdown over the Adidas Explosive Bounce. So on your mark, get set, let's get this thing moving. Now with the Explosive Bounce, we once again have a very basic combination of materials that's also very effective. What we have is a predominantly mesh forefoot with a unique lacing system, for Adidas at least. Foam around the ankle collar, and this mesh heel wrap, which is also a part of the lockdown system. The mesh is very breathable, although my initial lace-up did feel pretty snug. I will say it had very little to do with the actual mesh. It had a lot more to do with the inner sleeve. So it's liable if you get a pair of these, you're going to experience the same thing, but after that first game, it's going to really conform to your foot the way that you would expect it to. And the web straps along the sides combined with the inner sleeve are definitely working hand in hand to give you that nice lockdown. I like the rear foot setup on these as well. The heel collar, it is majority foam, but then you got this mesh wrap, which also features its own set of the web straps. And mark my words, when you have these laced all the way up from the top of your ankle to the midfoot, you're not going anywhere. Unless you end up getting these a half size too big, which you won't have to do. I repeat, you will not have to go up half a size in the Explosive Bounce. Now to talk about this cushion, this is actually my first time playing in Adidas' Bounce cushion, and I gotta say, I like what I feel underfoot. For those that don't know how Bounce plays, just know that it is a full-length iteration of foam that does provide great court feel, a good bit of responsiveness, and a nice sense of impact protection as well. Now there's also a feature about the shoe that enhances the cushion, which I'm not going to talk about until later on in my conclusion. Now for the most unique part of the shoe, the traction. The craziest part about this is that if you go to Adidas' website or any retailer that sells this shoe, they have no way to describe this traction pattern. I'm going to give this outsole a name right now. This is a cellular traction pattern. I mean, how can you call it anything else? I mean, I look at the outsole, all I see are lysosomes, ribosomes, Golgi bodies, and mitochondria. Shout out to every science teacher I've had since 6th grade. And despite this being a non-traditional traction pattern, combined with the fact that it is a translucent rubber compound, this has excellent coverage. But here's the tricky part though, and this is for anybody that's looking to get a pair for themselves. There are some colorways of the Explosive Bounce that feature a solid rubber option. So for anyone that's curious and looking to try those out, I would strongly advise trying those on indoor courts first, on fairly well-kept court conditions before you try them anywhere else. So really I say all that to say, depending on the condition in which you keep the outsole, you're not going to worry about any unnecessary slippage on the court because the traction is going to have you covered no matter what move you decide to make. That's how good it is. For my overall opinion on the shoe, I like how close they tried to keep it to the original Crazy Explosive. Only difference is the cushion, the lockdown system, and the midfoot support. I'm going to touch on all three in just a sec. The lockdown in the original Crazy Explosive this year features two different types of setups. You've got the forged mesh and you've got the prime knit, both of which I'm sure are probably what Adidas considers premium materials in their sneaker lineup. Now as far as cushion goes, the Crazy Explosive, as a lot of us know, gives us full-length boost instead of bounce. And then in the midfoot, the Crazy Explosive, it has a full-length spring plate in the shape of the infinity symbol underneath the midfoot to kind of help activate and propel the boost. Whereas in the Explosive Bounce, the midfoot plate is segmented. You've got something underneath the forefoot and a piece underneath the heel, but nothing underneath the arch. And that's where people may have their concerns. I know I did after my first game in these. Like if you press down right here where like it kind of forms a tendril a little bit, where everything starts to spread out, you'll feel nothing but bounce. And 9 times out of 10, that's gonna raise some questions as far as arch support. So what I would advise for anyone that has a history with anything like fallen arches, plantar fasciitis, or if you're just flat-footed in general and need that extra support when you're hooping, then a couple things really. Number one, switching out the insoles for something that's going to give you that, because the insole in the Explosive Bounce can be replaced. Number two, if you get shoes like mine where the insole's like super glued into the footbed, and if you try to take it out, you're gonna split it in half, go with like a 3/4 insole that's going to provide that arch support so that it doesn't interfere with the overall fit just because it's not the entire length of the shoe itself. Now up until this point, everything that I said about the Explosive Bounce makes it a worthy sneaker of anyone's rotation, whether you're a guard, a big man, a swing man, whatever. It literally caters to anybody's game, only with a few slight exceptions, and because of that reason alone, the Explosive Bounce, despite being a takedown team shoe, is an A- signature model. This is easily one of the more underrated performers of the season thus far, so if you happen to get your hands on him, you will not regret the experience. I promise you, you won't. Unless you do something foolish like get a full size bigger or smaller than what you actually wear. Then you're gonna have problems. But yeah, man, other than that, the Explosive Bounce is definitely one of my go-to performers this season. All that's left is for me to get my hands on the actual Crazy Explosive 2017. And just a quick heads up for anybody that might be wondering, I will not be reviewing the Prime Knit version. Like, I hear so many of the goats in the sneaker community talking about how they crave premium materials when they're hooping, or they just have to have like the best of both worlds as far as lockdown, fit, and support and all that extra stuff, which we all want. But at the end of the day, it's a little extra money in our pocket for like Fly Knit, Prime Knit, and all this extra stuff, right? Here's the thing about me and the way that I play the game. I don't give a about premium materials. All I care about is quality lockdown and a comfortable feel. And if I can get that from a basic setup like forged or engineered mesh, I am perfectly okay with that. And it's all about getting something that's going to cater to your game anyway. And with all that out the way, I would like to thank y'all for checking out this video. This is your man D2X. Stay tuned for that Adidas Crazy Explosive review. And until next time, I will catch y'all later. Ha!